IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do.
Yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez.
Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull.
Lennox Lewis was impressed by Terence Crawford's intense preparation for the upcoming fight with Canelo Alvarez. He praised Crawford's discipline and sharp boxing mind, saying that when Crawford is focused, he knows exactly how to get the job done. Lewis added that this level of training proves Crawford is fully prepared for the challenge ahead.
He moves very well. He's a very elusive mover, and his work rate is high.
I won't ask you who's going to win the fight, because I know it's a question you've probably been asked a million times, but I will ask you, do you think this fight goes the distance, or do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
Interesting.
Terence Crawford's trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, says his fighter isn't feeling any pressure ahead of the historic showdown with Canelo Alvarez. According to him, Crawford sees this fight as just another challenge in his decorated career. Bomac explained that Crawford's preparation has been sharp and focused, with a clear plan for what needs to be done in the ring. He stressed that this isn't about the occasion, it's about proving Crawford is the true pound-for-pound best. In his words, Crawford is calm, physically ready, and fully prepared to shock the boxing world.
Have a fight rather than maybe boxing.
No, I don't think there's no pressure on Terence, because Terence will fight the way that he's used to fighting. So by saying all that stuff that Turkey say or anybody else say, that doesn't bother Terence not one bit. You know, we train for one way, the way we're going to fight, and that's the way we're going to get the job done.
When people talk about this fight and they talk about the outcome of the fight, the sort of narrative online is that, look, Terence was moving up in weight, but we all know Terence can crack. When that fight was made with Errol Spence, it was seen as a 50-50 fight, and in reality what it was one of the most destructive performances I've ever seen. Should fans be surprised if Terence could manage to stop Canelo?
I think that fans are going to be surprised when he dismantled Canelo. You know, the more time goes on, the more time Terence can settle into that weight, the worse is off for the opponent.
The last one from me, because I know this time is now at that minute as you were talking, so I just have one more question. If he manages to get through Canelo Alvarez, does that cement his place on the Mount Rushmore of boxing?
You just answered the question.
Rhetorical.
Legendary commentator Larry Merchant compared the upcoming Crawford vs. Canelo fight to one of boxing's most famous upsets, when Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvin Hagler. Back then, many believed Leonard couldn't win, but his speed, movement, and ring smarts carried the night. Merchant says Crawford is in a similar position, the smaller, quicker fighter going up against a naturally bigger and stronger champion. He believes Crawford has the tools, footwork, timing, and control of the pace to do exactly what Leonard did. In Merchant's view, the game plan is already written in boxing history, and Crawford has what it takes to repeat it.
To the great Larry Merchant, I said, do you think Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez? And Larry said, Jim, did Ray Leonard get an official decision victory over Marvelous Marvin Hagler? And I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And I said, why do you say that? He said, same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and then get out. That's what Ray did so effectively against Hagler.
Respected trainer Buzzy Ennis didn't hold back when talking about the fight. He pointed out that Canelo Alvarez has shown signs of frustration before, especially against fast, slick fighters. Ennis warned that Terence Crawford is exactly the kind of opponent who can push Canelo out of his comfort zone. Unlike past challengers such as William Skull, Crawford has the skill to create angles, land sharp counters, and keep his opponents uneasy. Ennis believes this fight won't come down to raw power, but to who controls the rhythm. If Crawford can frustrate Canelo, it could lead to the biggest win of his career.
If he can't touch you, you know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean?
Now, did watching that make you feel like Terence Crawford has better than a 50% chance after watching? I know we've seen him against Laura back in the day, but now this is supposed to be a new and improved Canelo.
Yeah. I think, like I said, Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull. Terence gonna fight you. You know what I mean? He's Terence from the street, man. You know what I mean? He know what to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, I think he's gonna wind up frustrating Canelo. You know what I mean?
So what's the right way? Because Skull was moving too much. Is as soon as he like as soon as you turn him, then is that when you start firing off?
Well, see, the thing is, the right way, the way I would have my fighter doing is I'm boxing him. You know what I mean? And he coming at me, I'm hitting him, pop, 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 pop. And soon he gets set, I'll tie him up, walking to the center. You know what I mean? We cruise to the ropes and do the same thing and keep on frustrating, hit with the jab, boom, boom. Keep on moving, but also hitting though. You know what I mean? And he gets frustrated, then he let his guards down. And it's a good night.
Bernie, the boxer, a key member of Crawford's team, sent a strong message to Canelo Alvarez. He stated flat out that Canelo's style is made for Terence Crawford. According to Bernie, Canelo's approach, powerful, steady, but often predictable, plays right into Crawford's strengths. Crawford's ability to read opponents and adjust as the fight goes on makes him a dangerous matchup. Bernie praised his fighter's instincts, discipline, and fearlessness, saying Crawford has both the talent and the heart to take control. He made it clear that Crawford isn't stepping into this fight just to be part of a big event. He's coming to win, and he's ready to do whatever it takes to make it happen.
About Crawford's age, but, you know, no boxing, no life, as Canelo would say. And Crawford still, you know, in age, but he ain't took no punishment. He's cautious, you know, he works hard throughout these years. So, you know, of course you're gonna, you know, you gotta count that in the factor. But in his heart, in his mind, in his spirit, he's still youthful about boxing. He loves boxing, and this is one way to get him up. You know, he's a challenge guy. He loves a challenge, and Canelo is the biggest challenge you can get. You know, we got to go up 2 weight classes, really 3 weight classes to get a guy like that. Hardest puncher, great counter puncher, tons of experience, undisputed champion, unified champion, a couple of divisions champion, and so we didn't get the Pacquiao or the Mayweather, but we getting Canelo, and nothing comes easy to Team Crawford, and expect us to look good on the 12th. Expect us to come out victorious September 12th.
Oh, we obviously just saw his fight against Skull, and people didn't obviously enjoy it, the back foot boxing from Skull and whatever. Yeah. But what fight can fans expect from Bud? Because a lot of people think that it'll be similar to that or the Charlo fight or whatever like that.
The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. Crawford want to win. That's it. It ain't about no belt. It ain't about nothing. You didn't sign the contract. We want to win, and he want to be the best, and he is the best. So that's what's gonna be the difference. You know, Crawford got guts. He got a fighting spirit. So when you see Crawford, he gonna go in there and get busy with Canelo. Don't you even doubt that. You understand? You ain't never seen Crawford stay on the back foot in no fight in his life. You understand? He the type of guy to go get you. So expect him to go get him. We gonna do everything we can to him. We gonna do whatever we got to do. But one thing you can expect is Crawford is gonna step to him, because you can't beat Canelo going on the back foot forever. You got to go get him. You got to do something, and he better know Crawford is coming.
To prepare for Canelo, Terence Crawford has brought in sparring partners who can mimic the Mexican star's style. One of them is Lester Martinez, a skilled professional known for his strength and solid technique. In training, Martinez has been pushing Crawford with pressure and power, giving him a taste of what to expect on fight night. Reports say Crawford has looked sharp in these sessions, adjusting well to Martinez's size while showing off his trademark counterpunching and accuracy. Working with fighters like Martinez is helping Crawford get fully used to the strength and pace of a true super middleweight.
From sparring, like Terence being with Lester Martinez, he's about as good a concoction you could hope for as a sparring partner. I need a guy who can come forward with good timing, who's sharp, who got good power in both hands. Lester Martinez for Terence Crawford. If you're Canelo, I need a guy that can switch. I need a guy with length. I need a guy with power, with skill. He gets Darrell Valsaint, who's 6'1", 154. He switch hits, southpaw, mostly southpaw like Terence, but can switch. Good long. His arms are almost the exact same length as Terence Crawford, and he's a young 23-year-old good athlete. And then I don't know if Canelo's sparring with Marco Verde, who won the silver medal for Mexico, but Marco Verde would, again, 5'11", long arms, southpaw, can switch. I would think between Darrell Valsaint and Marco Verde, Canelo's getting awesome preparation. And then Terence with Lester Martinez. This is speculative, but someone did mention it to me on Twitter when I was talking about Canelo preparing with Valsaint. They go, well, Lester Martinez had to go home with migraines and pull out of a fight. and he was sparring with Terence Crawford. So, I mean, it's speculative, but you're like, wow, well, if you put 2 and 2 together, if he was getting migraines for sparring Terence Crawford and had to pull out of a fight because of it, then that must mean Terence Crawford is doing well.